Welcome to the Neo operational video series for software version 3.7. These videos are designed for targeted instruction to get you up to speed quickly and simply. This video targets undo. Now, undo is simply the state of going back to a previous state. There are lots of different things you can do with undo, so it gets a bit more flexible than just that. There are also three different categories of undo. There's command line undo, there's the undo pull down, and there are undo queues in the queue list window. So we're first going to talk about command line. So classic undo is if I say 1 at full, at 5, at 6, and I do undo enter, and that will take it back to 50%. That's the previous level that it was at. So that's what undo enter will do for you. So we're going to talk about undoing with the different attribute families. So we're going to grab the moving lights and we're going to say 201 through enter, full. We're going to go to our target box. We're going to click that position, click that one, click another, and now I'm going to say undo position, enter, and that went back to the previous position. I'm going to go to color, where we'll do a similar thing. I'm going to say at color 68, and that's in blue, and now I'm going to say at color 312, and I'll do undo color, enter, and it will go back to blue. You can also do a similar thing with the beam family as with the edge family. Now, in addition to that, something that often can be done by mistake is recording. So I'm going to go to Q10 and we're going to grab 11 through 119. We're going to turn all of those on and we're going to hit record and make a Q11 and realize we've made a mistake. We didn't mean to grab 11 through 119, it was 11 through 19. So what we've chosen to do is get rid of this queue so that we can start over. So I'm going to back up to make sure we're not active in the queue we want to delete, and I'm going to say undo record. And again, this is instead of deleting a queue, but we're just going to take the record back. So I would hit release to get rid of all that. Then what I might do is correct my problem, so 11 through 19 full, record. Now let's look at updating a queue and undoing that. So here we are in Q11, and I'm going to grab that previous set of fixtures by doing select previous. We're going to do it 50% and we're going to update. And we decide that we really didn't want to make that change, so we want to take that back. So I'll just do undo update, enter, and when I release and go to enter, those are going to go back to full, having undone that update. Okay, now we're just going to make a new queue. We're just going to say record in order to just go through the process of deleting a queue, and then we're going to undo that delete. So we can't delete a queue that we're soaking in, so I'm going to back up one, and I'm going to say Q12 shift enter for delete, and I'm going to hit OK, and that's gotten rid of it. And then we realize our mistake, so we want to get that back. So I'm going to do undo shift edit for delete, then hit Q, and then hit enter, and Q12 is back. Now we do see that 11 has put a link on itself, and we probably want to get rid of that. So Q11 shift follow for link, enter, we'll clear that up. All right, let's look at the next category of undo, which is the undo pull down. So if you look here, you've got several categories of channel selection, channel state change, queue record, queue update, group record update, or generic palette update. So if I look in channel selection, there are several things here, and if I want to undo, it's essentially going back to, so I could go back to 11 through 19. If we're talking about channel state change, I can look at this one, which is 11 through 19 at full, or here's one going to at color 312, so I could restore that. Or we can look at Q recording and see that there was a record on Q10, Q11, Q12 twice there, 2 different times. So we could undo that. We can look at undo, update, group record update, or generic palette update. So those things are there for you. I'm going to hit release. And now we're going to talk about probably the one that's, hit release again, the undo feature that is quite powerful, which is undo cues. Now what we're going to do is hit Cue List to go into the Cue List window, and we're going to take a look at Q1, and we're going to right click, and we have an option that says Open Cue Update History. From here we can see a window that shows us every version of the cue that was ever recorded in this show file. So it is the complete cue history for this cue. And we can see date and time of when it was recorded and what it was. If I want to take a look at that and possibly apply it, I can hit preview. From here I'm going to go back live, and we can see that this is showing us the state of that cue in that version. I'm going to go back to my cue list, right click, Cue Update History. So if that's something I wanted, I could hit apply, and that would restore it back to that state. So it's extremely, extremely powerful. And there's all the versions for Q11. So that's it. Thanks for watching this Neo operational video for software version 3.7. Go to the Phillips Strand website at www.strandlighting.com for many more videos on Neo programming and operation.